All right, we're going live today, doing a Friday live stream here. And this is a little bit unexpected. Um, but turns out that Monday I will be working. So today I got off unexpectedly. I went into work this morning ready to go. And turns out, um, well, the route that I'm usually on, somebody got for today, but it was a very light day. So I figure, uh, well, I was on standby and they told me to go home. So yeah, I'm home and so I figured do a live stream today because Monday I may have to work and I don't know how long. But hey Samuel, hope you're doing well. So I'm gonna go for a little bit here. But I hope everybody's doing well. Everybody out there, well, so far only two people is watching. So I'm probably going to be talking to myself for a little bit. We'll see what happens. Hey, Scotty, what's up? Yeah, I might. Yeah, today I got off unexpectedly. I was ready to go in. I was at work in uniform and ready to go, but it was just a very light day. And they told me to go home. Yeah, I'm just going to go solo for this because I really don't do too many of them. I mean, to be fair, and that way I can sort of catch up a little bit on stuff and what have you. But I still would like to do, like a hangout soon, very soon, because, but also too, I'm going like, there's about to be a schedule change happening at work. So I have to sort of feel out, how it's going to be at work and, we can go from there. But besides that, yeah, I'm just going to go solo here for a little bit. Thoughts on actor James? I have no idea who that is. It's got to fix my. Okay. Well, you see, the Monday I thought we were going to have off. Apparently, there's another 6-day work week planned for next week, but also too, like, I'm planning to be inside the plant. It's one of those things where with the job, you can ask a question, but you can get 1,000 different answers. It's always the left hand doesn't know what the right hand is doing, and I'm not complaining about that, but there's not one consistent. I do know for sure that I'm going to be working inside the plant, but I don't know how much driving I'm going to do, and that's just the way they operate. Like if it's a high volume week, they're going to probably use us a little bit more. But my driving is going to be winding down soon anyway. So, yeah. I haven't seen Unforgiven in a while. I need to go back and revisit that movie. Yeah, I mean, I'm off early. Like, so today we were supposed to depart at like 9 o'clock, and I waited around. I waited around for an hour, to see if my name was on the roster to drive, but it wasn't up there. And I kept checking every like 10 minutes, and I talked to the manager. And then but also noticed too, like across the board, with every driver, like today was a very light day. And more than likely, I thought either I was going to be like a floater where they would send me out with an empty truck and kind of help out people, or they're going to ask me to stay home or, stay back, which I did. So, hey, Jamie. So yeah, I didn't plan on today being off, but it is what it is. But that's the thing with UPS. It's just, every week is, but it's okay. So, but when I found out that I was off, I'm like, okay, I'm gonna go clean my car, go get a haircut. So, that's tough. I'm gonna say, give me. I love both, but I got to go with Cobra. But I love both. But yeah, I mean, I'm still gonna go for a little while here. So I just know that like I haven't really done that many solo streams, and just in general, I have a lot of catching up to do, and I know I put out a post about doing requests again, and I got some. So, but yeah, yeah, Cobra is a really very good film. But yeah, that's the thing. Like, I was planning on Monday doing a stream, and it's like, things don't happen the way you want, and I mean, but that's just the way it is with UPS and stuff. I mean, my normal schedule is Tuesday through Saturday, but I think because right now it's such a weird kind of transition from, peak season being over and kind of going into like a normal schedule, so the volume is a little bit weird, or the demand. This is kind of like it's a. I mean, I'm still keeping busy, but it's just a, you know, again, kind of going back to what I was saying. Like you can ask questions about stuff, but you can get 1,000 different answers. What's up, Alter? Alter ego in the house. Well, I haven't really started in the warehouse yet. It's weird because, like, from what I've been told, is that we are working Monday through Saturday this coming week, but I've been provided like two different dates on when we're supposed to start in the warehouse. Sometime between the 15th and the 20th. And it's one of those days. The plant manager says one thing, the supervisor for the preload says another. So it's just, so I'm just gonna see what happens and play by ear. There's a Wizard of Oz horror movie. Didn't hear about that. The only thing I have seen recently is the Avengers Doomsday teaser with the Professor X and Magneto and Cyclops. That's about the only thing. I'm trying to think if I've seen any new movies lately. I haven't really watched that many movies lately. but I did get some requests. I think DJ Donnelly requested that I review Blade. Hard Boiled is next. That's one. That's one that's kind of been on the back burner a little bit. Um, Mostly because I was just extremely busy. Um, but I will be watching Hard Boiled soon, and something else. I think The Last Dragons, Wild Man Beyond requested that one. What did I think of the teaser? Again, just indifferent. I really don't have one thought or another. I'm just kind of indifferent about it. How much you want to bet they're going to die again? I think maybe I'm trying to remember if I've seen that one. One Man's Justice. I know I've seen Stone Cold. I think I did see that one time, but I can't. I remember liking it, but I don't remember much about it. Like, I think I watched it one time 5 years ago. Yeah, I think I have the Blade trilogy over here on Blu-ray. So I think what I'm going to do is, like, if I'm going to review the first one, why not just review the trilogy? So I thought about doing that. I mean, it kind of makes sense, right? To review the first movie and do the trilogy. Yeah, Stone Cold would be fun. That'd be a fun commentary to do. I haven't seen Stone Cold in a while, but great action movie. But yeah, I think I do have the Blade set over here. And Hard Boiled. I'm one of those people who loves Blade Trinity. I've never seen it. I've only seen the first two Blades. So we'll see what happens. Yeah, William Forsythe, he's a good actor. Um, yeah, I'm with you. I mean, I don't have Netflix, but we do have it here, if that makes sense. Like, it's there if we want to watch something, but I don't support them. I don't hate Blade Trinity, but it's the weakest. Didn't I hear something about Wesley Snipes and Ryan Reynolds were clashing on that one? I think maybe I've heard that before. If I'm wrong, I'm open to correction. But I think maybe I've heard that. I've heard that story. The only thing I know about that movie is that Ryan Reynolds is in it, and so is Triple H. He's one of the vampires, I think. Yeah, right now, today, I think it's like 71 degrees. And then next week is going to drop down again in like the 40s. So we're still in that time of the year where it's like the weather just fluctuates. I mean, I think at some point it will snow, but like tomorrow it's going to be like 74 and rain. And then like Sunday, Monday, and the rest of next week is going to be in the 40s. So it's You never know what you're going to get around here. Well, I mean, you're not really helping Alter mentioning these, coming up with these ideas. I'm joking, but you never know. I mean, they made a horror movie with the Grinch and Popeye, so anything is possible. Yeah, I can't. I haven't. I said I will have to watch it at some point here. I mean, if I'm going to go back and revisit Blade, then I have to watch the third one. Hard to Kill a Marked for Death. I'm going to say give me Marked for Death. I do like both of them, but I haven't seen those in a while. I haven't seen those in years. But Marked for Death, I would probably prefer more. Yeah, I did see Weapons. Um, I didn't talk about it or really share my thoughts about it. I thought it was okay. I mean, I don't know. I mean, there were some parts to it that I liked, some other parts I didn't like, but well, what did you like about it? Let's look at some movie news here. I'm just kind of scanning to see what's going on. Disney's the live action remake of Tangled. Not that I saw that movie, but great. It's Frozen. Hell Caesar, haven't seen it. I've heard about it. Sebastian Stan. Sebastian Stan is rumored to be in the Batman 2. I did see that. Almost willing to bet they're going to have him play Harvey Dent or whatever, maybe. The last thing George Clooney did before he became a giant nut. Well, I mean, now he's getting ready to work on Ocean's 14. Like, apparently, Julia Roberts is in it, Brad Pitt, Don Cheadle, Matt Damon. I honestly have not seen Ocean's 12 and 13, but there you go. When I can't predict where a movie is taking me, I love that. I couldn't predict what was going to happen next. Gladys was scary. Can you imagine running into her at Walmart? I would turn the other way. I will admit she was good in the role, Amy Madigan. She was also like she was great in some stuff back in the day, like Uncle Buck and Field of Dreams. Yeah, I've only seen Ocean's 11. What are some of your favorite black and white TV shows? Does the Three Stooges count? I would say the Three Stooges, of course. The Monsters was fun. Yeah, Aaron Eckhart did a good job as Two-Face. Yeah, he was good in the role. I don't know what happened to him though. Aaron Eckhart's been kind of like he's a good actor, and he's been kind of stuck in direct-to-video land. I don't know why. Like he's a guy that to me deserves a little bit more, you know, roles and stuff. Yeah, that's the only thing about Two Face in the movie. I really didn't like the CGI. I mean, I have to think now it would probably be practical, but that was around the time when they were experimenting with, CGI like that, and this is, but I think now they would probably take a little bit more chance on practical. Hollywood probably screwed over Aaron Eckhart, maybe. But I do like him as an actor. I just don't know why he's been kind of reduced to making, you know, lower tier movies. You feel bad for Neil Blomkamp being screwed over by Hollywood? I'll be honest, I really haven't seen much of his stuff. I know he did Elysium and Chappie and something else, right? I honestly have not seen much of his stuff. Aaron Eckhart looks like the guy who played Murdoch in Rambo 2. I don't know about that, but Danny Trejo, good actor. I love Danny Trejo. Uh, there's been a lot of good stuff. Which movie would you like to remake? That's tough. How about nothing? I mean, I think we've had way too many, and 98% of the time they have not been good. I would not want to remake anything. That's just me. Because 9 times out of 10, it's going to be shit. My theory is that doing I Frankenstein did him in, wasn't well liked by critics, choose the wrong movie to make, and it can break you. Yeah, I forgot about that. I haven't seen that movie. I just remember that. Yeah, he was in that one. I haven't seen it. Yeah, I remember now that you mention it. Phase 4 movie about killer ants. Maybe. Well, if they remake a movie about killer ants, it's just going to be straight to sci-fi. Hey, Sean, hope you're doing well, man. I don't know. Is Sci-Fi Channel still around? Which bad movie do you think deserves a remake? I don't know because there's always the possibility it could be worse. I mean, it's like look at Leprechaun for example. I don't like the movie. I don't like that movie. It's still got a remake, and it's not a good one. So just because you can remake a bad movie doesn't make it better. It could be just as bad or worse. Uh, you caught a little bit of I Frankenstein on TV. Yeah, like I said, I still haven't seen it. If Dade and Kate were hacking in 2026 instead of 1995, would their elite status hold up, or would they just be overwhelmed by two-factor authentication and modern encryption? I don't know. That's a very. I have no idea, man. I often think about, and I'm not saying that there should be a sequel to Hackers, but I'm trying to. Sometimes I do wonder where would those characters be now? Like how much. I mean, you see how much the internet has changed in 30 years or 31. Like, where would those characters be now? What would the story be? Um, would it be this like maybe I don't know. I mean, I do wonder sometimes, what would they do with the sequel to Hackers? Like if it came out this year or whatever. But I don't think Jolie would want to do it. I don't think John Lee Miller would want to do it. The only person, maybe Matthew Lillard, would do it. But I don't know. But again, it's an interesting thought. Where would those characters be in 2025 or six? I don't know. It's hard to say because I think Johnny Lee Miller and Jolie were married at one point, and then they got separated. So I don't know if they would have liked to. I don't know if they would work together again. Uh, yeah, I did not see Abigail. If there were only two jobs in the world, would you rather be a lifeguard or a paramedic? Um, maybe paramedic. Do you think that the prequel trilogy of Star Wars would have been better if they started with Attack of the Clones and ended up in Rogue One? Maybe Darth Maul is the main villain in all three. Um, I don't know. I mean, I'm just not. In regards to the prequel trilogy, I like the Phantom Menace. There's some parts to it that I do like. Attack of the Clones, I'm not a fan of. Revenge of the Sith, it's a good movie. Will I call it? I don't know if I could call it great, but it's still a good Star Wars movie. After that, I had a little hope for The Force Awakens. I'm like, finally, you got Luke and Leia and Han back. And then we saw what happened. So it's like, I just don't care anymore about Star Wars. But that's just me. I've never played the Silent Hill games or have seen the movie back in the day. So I'm not all that familiar with Silent Hill. is there a discussion about a Crash Bandicoot movie? I mean, I like the video game, but do you think that ki- kids now would not care about Crash Bandicoot? They care about Minecraft. I mean, just look how big of a hit that was. I don't think they know Crash Bandicoot that well. Yeah, the only thing I would, the only hesitation or what's the word I'm looking for, like worry that I would have for a sequel to Hackers, I don't think a lot of the cast would come back. I think that's the main thing. But also, too, I don't think the story, like the first movie was fun and stylish, entertaining. I think a sequel would just, they would try to make it really dark, like the very opposite of the first movie and the tone of the first movie. That's just me. Was Hackers your second favorite after Jaws? Well, Hackers was number one for a little bit, but the more I think about it, I would say Jaws is my favorite, and then Hackers is number two. So I just everything about Jaws I love. I could have it on right now, and it's probably my favorite film ever of all time. I have not seen the new Red Sonja. I don't mind the old one. Yeah, I like Revenge of the Sith. It's not my favorite Star Wars movie, but I do like it. I know years ago you made a rant video about Rogue One, but if you saw it again, would your opinion change, or do you think? I think it would just be the same. I mean, like I said, I really don't have. I think I love the original trilogy. The Phantom Menace is okay. Revenge of the Sith is good, but after that, I think The Force Awakens just kind of, for me, just ruined everything. And I've seen The Force Awakens, I've seen The Last Jedi, then I've seen Rogue One, and I didn't really care for it. So I think it would just stay the same. I don't have a favorite 50 Cent song. Yeah, I saw that in the theater too back in the day. I wouldn't say promising. I mean, you killed off Han Solo. I mean, that's just one of the many problems that film has. But that's just me. I mean, I can only speak for myself. I know some people out there like The Force Awakens, and that's fine. I'm not going to treat you any different, but I just, I think after that I got burned. But I know I'm not the only one. Yeah, I haven't played Crash Bandicoot in probably like 30 years, close to it. Trying to catch up with the comments and stuff. Do you think that an intro of Terminator Genesis set in the future war is the only part of the movie worth a shit? It stays true to the lore of the franchise to some degree. Well, if they would have focused on that, I mean, instead of doing some Back to the Future 2 bullshit, Terminator Genesis, I've seen it a couple of times, and yeah, yeah, Dark Fate's worse. Before anybody asks that question, yeah, Dark Fate is worse. But to me, there's only two really good Terminator films, the first two, and that's it. Um, yeah, And that's the only thing too, like I would be concerned about with a hacker sequel. I mean, you can probably tackle the growth of AI, but I don't know how they can make it work. I don't know how it would work and still be fun, and entertaining. Yeah, but they did release the film. They re-released Jaws, and I think there was like a big thing going on in Martha's Vineyard, and Richard Dreyfuss was there and stuff. Which movie disappointed you the most? Hmm. I don't know. I have to really think about that one. Was it in Rogue One where they have the one scene with Darth Vader? Darth Vader. I remember that scene in the movie. Was it in that film where Darth Vader kills everybody in the hallway? I like that moment. I don't really remember much about Rogue One. NMM. Yeah, the Last Jedi definitely destroyed just about. The Force Awakens was the start of it. It was the downfall, and the Last Jedi made it worse. Sorry about that. Primitive. Don't know what. I don't know what those are about. Which is worse, RoboCop 3 or T3? RoboCop 3. Favorite year for movies? Well, I'm actually going to say maybe a bit biased here. 1989. How about that? Dark Fate is slightly better because of Linda Hamilton. Yeah, I can see your point. Yeah, the scene with the Darth Vader. Yeah, that was the best part of the movie. I haven't seen Solo. I haven't seen that. Bring Her Back is the sequel to Talk to Me. Well, I haven't seen that, so I wouldn't have known. But I do think it's on Tubi. There's quite a bit of stuff on Tubi right now that's really good. It's Matt Thomas. I really liked Solo. I wish people would give it a chance. Yeah, like I said, I still haven't seen the film. The part where John Connor dies in Dark Fate ruined the movie for a lot of people. I know. I've seen it once and don't care to see it again. I don't think so, Scotty. I think he was just kind of like sending me messages and stuff, like, sharing videos. But I know, like, we'll plan a night for all of us to, get up and, you know, talk and stuff. If I've ever visited a place or location where they filmed a movie, yeah, I've been to the film studio in Wilmington, North Carolina, and then I've been to back at last summer. I went to Forsyth Park, where the Forrest Gump and the bench that was in Forrest Gump. Uh, but I don't think the bench is there anymore. But I did go there. Forsyth Park is in Savannah, Georgia, by the way. Yeah, Savannah's a nice city. Yeah, I think the bench was there for a while, but now it's in a museum. Favorite contemporary Western? I don't know if I have one. Are you talking about like modern day Westerns? I don't have one. Is there a specific special effect in movie you wished it was switched from CGI to practical and vice versa? Well, I mean, I'm earlier mentioned about Two Face and The Dark Knight. Like, I mean, really, they could have went practical with that. I don't know why. I mean, I don't hate. I just think, honestly, again, they just could have went practical. I don't hate the look, but I'm like, imagine if that was practical effects. You know? No, it's not mine. It's somebody else's. But I have been to a shooting range. I know I went last year, but I'm not sure when. I think it was in the summer, maybe. Yeah, The Dark Knight is good for Heath Ledger. I mean, yeah, I do like the Hateful Eight. I forgot about that. I do like the Hateful Eight. It's not my favorite Tarantino movie, but I do like it. I like the cast. Which Latino actress would you cast as Danny in Dark Fate? I have no idea, man. Yeah, that's crazy. I don't know. I mean, they keep saying that he's working on one final movie, but it hasn't happened yet. Or like we haven't heard one thing about that. The film Sanctuary with Mark Dacascos, I haven't seen. To be honest with you, I haven't really seen much of his work. I am a fan. I think the only thing maybe I've seen of his is the Crow TV series. I've seen the first episode of that. Was a Stairway to Heaven. I do. I think I have seen, but that's pretty much it. John Wick 3. He was good. He was good in that, but that's about it. Um, I've heard of it, but I haven't seen it. David Bowie song. I don't have a favorite. Elvis Presley. I don't know. There's quite a few that I like. I don't know if I have a favorite, but I do like Elvis. How would you make Star Wars Episode 7 in terms of the story? Um, I would reunite the original characters and treat them with respect, have a story that is well written, basically anything other than what they did. But the first thing I would do, bring back the original cast characters and have them reunite, go out into the sunset. Favorite Tarantino movie? Well, it's weird because there's some that I have not seen, so I can't really. The only I've seen Jackie Brown, I like that. But to be honest with you, I have not seen Pulp Fiction. I have not seen uh I've seen pieces, bits and pieces of the Kill Bill movies. Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, I do have it, but I have not seen it yet. So by default, I'll say Jackie Brown. I like The Hateful Eight, but I Reservoir Dogs, he directed that, right? I do like that one. I do like that one. But I don't know if that would be my favorite. I have to watch. I really honestly have to see more to give you a better answer. I haven't seen Freddy Got Fingered. I've heard about it. Yeah, they should have. And the biggest thing is not kill Han Solo, you know, but what can they do? Or, like it's too late to try and correct their mistakes. Yeah, I have it on Blu-ray, but I just have not seen it. I have not watched it yet. Yeah, I did hear about that. It's not needed. Yeah, I mean, I like Jackie Brown. I need to watch it again. I think I do also have that film, either on Blu-ray or DVD. Unsolved Mysteries, I think I watched it later. Like I didn't watch it when it was still on, but I watched it quite a bit, maybe like, 20 years ago. I used to watch it quite a bit. I knew it came back, like they revived it with Dennis Farina, and then they brought it back again for Netflix, which I've seen a little bit of the Netflix version, and it's okay, but it's just not the same without Robert Stack. Um, Do you agree that Charles Bronson's character in Death Wish was way too calm and chill, considering the fact that what he went through? I don't know. I mean, I need to watch that movie again. I've only seen the first one. I've only seen the first Death Wish. I remember liking it, but I definitely want to check out the other ones. Yeah, because I think I don't think, I mean, it's pretty much common knowledge. Harrison Ford's not a fan of his character, right? So, I mean, basically, he's like, I'll take the check and, exit left or exit down the shaft where he got killed by his crybaby son. Yeah, Reservoir Dogs is a great movie. I mean, I could say, actually, I prefer that a little bit more than Jackie Brown, but still a great movie. Eddie Murphy or Eddie Griffin? I got to go with Eddie Murphy. You got Night of the Juggler on 4K. I haven't seen that. I have also have not seen Maniac Cop or Enemy Territory. Is there a movie you tend to recommend quite often? Well, I mean, I guess it depends on what mood you're in, or like, what kind of film you're looking for. I mean, Jaws is a classic, but everybody's seen Jaws. I mean, so I mean, there's a lot of movies that I've seen that are like hidden gems, or movies that really don't get enough recognition that probably deserves more recognition. That's a long list. I mean, that's a long list of movies. Yeah, Robert Stack, he really made that show, and but also too, he was a little bit creepy. Great host, but yeah, I 10 to Midnight. Yeah, that's a good Charles Bronson movie. I have seen that, and yeah, I would say the same thing. I prefer that a little bit more than Death Wish. I don't mind the first Death Wish movie, but yeah, 10 to Midnight's a good one. The most pathetic movie from Arnold, probably maybe Terminator Genesis or Dark Fate. It's one of those. Batman and Robin is awful, but in an entertaining way. Junior was just a bad idea, but it's not his worst movie. That to me has to go to Genesis or Dark Fate. That's just my thought on that one. Yeah, I mean, just you could find that. Oh, oh, see, there you go. I'm hitting the laptop again. But yeah, you can basically find that anywhere now. I mean, you can go on Tubi, YouTube. That's pretty cool. Yeah, I've heard of Maniac Cop, but I haven't heard of the other one. I don't really watch soccer, so I don't have an opinion on that. Yeah, Tony Todd, great actor, Candyman himself. I got to meet Tony Todd a few years ago. Very nice guy. I've never heard of that one. Double Take. I've never heard of it. How would you make a proper sequel to Universal Soldier? and keep the same quality and vibe of the original. Well, I mean, they made a sequel, right? The Return with Van Damme and um, Michael Jai White. I haven't seen it, but I don't know. I mean, I haven't seen the later ones with Van Damme and Dolph Lundgren. To be honest with you, I'm not. I don't know if I would like those. I have a feeling, but I don't know, man. That's a good topic for a video. Hey, Common Rider. So we got Common Rider in here. Yeah, it was sad because I did see him in the Final Destination, this one that came out last year or whatever, and he just didn't. He didn't look good at all. But yeah, I mean, again, very nice man that I met. I think back in 2019. But yeah, I remember also too, like, because we were staying at this hotel, and me and a few people were like sitting in the restaurant that was in the hotel on the bottom floor. And Tony Todd just walked in and sat at the bar and just kind of, just casually talking to people. And we were just kind of watching them. And, it just, so even to everybody, there, fans, what have you, like he was just very nice and down to earth. Tony Todd, Candyman. He was in Candyman, Final Destination. He was in The Crow. He's been in a lot of stuff. The Rock. Do you agree that Data from Star Trek The Next Generation and Arnold and T2 are a bit similar in terms of both characters trying to understand human beings? Well, I love both characters, but I don't know. I mean, I don't know. It's kind of hard to compare those two because Data, um, I mean, he's a bit more naive, right? Arnold and T2, I don't know. I mean, I don't know how to answer that. They're both great characters, but very different. Uh, you can say they're the same and they're different at the same time. You can say that they could be the same and both different. Maybe it's not the most in-depth answer you're looking for, but it's not a hard question. It takes a little bit for me to think about because like yeah, you could say they're both very similar characters, but also in a lot of ways they're different. And it's not a hard question, but I would have to really sit down and think about that question. It takes a little bit of thought. How about that? Yeah, I've seen quite a few. I think, I don't know if I have any more. The Next Generation, I used to have like the first three seasons on DVD, but I don't know if I have those anymore. But I definitely love the show. I'm a big fan of the show. Back in the day, but it's just nowadays Michael Rappaport is just like, when is he not making the little like when is he not making little videos and ranting about whatever? That seems to be his shtick now, is just ranting. Michael Rantaport. That's what I call him. It's just he's always got something to rant about, and he's a good actor. He's been in some good stuff, you know, but Tony Todd was in that Excessive Force. I've seen it before, but I remember there was quite a few people in that movie. I forgot he was in it. Like James Earl Jones was in Excessive Force, right? Was or are you talking about Michael Rappaport? I don't own any figures. I have a Turbo Man, but that's back home, and maybe like one Funko Pop, and I really don't collect a lot of figurines or whatever. I'm not a big Funko collector. Yeah, yeah. I mean, but that's just again that seems to be his shtick. Um, I think I have a Funko Pop of Bob Wiley from What About Bob, and I think that's pretty much it. How long? What I was going to? I'll probably go for another hour if I can. I mean, I think I'm pretty sure I will, but yeah, for another hour. Have I seen your? Okay, let me look at the comment section here. If I missed if I missed a comment, I'm sorry. I'm just let's see if I can do this. Nope, that's not going to work. Hey, Fadi. I hope you're doing well. There's like StreamYard has so many updates. Every time I sign in a StreamYard, like I'm sorry if I missed your comment, Sean. Feel free to post it again. I'm trying to look for it. But yeah, every time I go into StreamYard, like there's all these like alerts and updates, and which I do pay for StreamYard, so maybe that's something to do with it. But like all of these AI things that are being added to StreamYard and different features. So, but yeah, I'm sorry, Sean, if I missed it. Please feel free to uh, post it again if you know. Plus the actress from The Golden Child. Yeah, I remember there was quite a few people in that movie. I think I did review Excessive Force, but I think I reviewed it last year or the year before. I haven't seen Star Trek Discovery. Yeah, I've seen some footage of Michael J. Fox. It seems like more so over the last couple of years he's gotten worse, and I hope not. I mean, I know that apparently he's coming back to acting. Like he appeared in the trailer for the next season of that show Shrinking or Shrink with Harrison Ford and Jason Segel. So he's in that. But I don't know. I hope he can still hang in there. Who's worse, James Franco or James Gunn? Maybe Franco. Maybe James Gunn. I don't know, man. I mean, I know Franco was in hot water there for a little bit. James Gunn, uh, he's fallen for me as in terms of directing. So I don't know how to answer that. In what ways is Captain Picard better or worse than Kirk? I don't know, but I mean, I love both of them. The only thing I can say is, to be fair, I haven't really seen much of the original series. I've seen way more of the Next Generation, but I love both characters, both actors. Both actors do a great job. So I don't know. I have to really think about that because, you know, to come up with a better answer. Yeah, I mean, like I said, I hope Michael J. Fox can stay, with us more. I mean, I don't want to hope for the worst, but you know, I just want him to hang in there. Favorite voice actor? I don't know. I don't really don't have a favorite. Top three least favorite Star Trek movies. Um, I've only honestly I've seen the first five. I have not seen Star Trek 6. I have not seen the Next Generation movies. Maybe I've seen a little bit of Nemesis, but I haven't seen the other ones. The 2009 Star Trek reboot, I'm not a fan of. There's a couple of things about it that I don't mind, but I'm just not a fan of it. Into Darkness, I remember seeing that one. I really don't remember much about it, so I can't really say for sure. But I do love the first five Star Trek movies. Clancy Brown, great actor. He was great in The Shawshank Redemption. Of course, he was in Highlander. He's been in a bunch of stuff. He was in um, the new season of Dexter. Or no, I'm sorry, he was in Dexter, The New Blood. I liked him in that. I mean, he's been in a ton of stuff. Not really a fan of Star Trek, more in Star Wars, but I do like the two soundtracks. What soundtrack do you like more, Star Wars or Star Trek? Um, Maybe Star Wars. I don't know. I can't. I don't know. Like, I would say I prefer Star Trek more now, but I do think Star Wars has the better soundtrack because of John Williams. Bloodsport or Kickboxer? Um, mm, that's tough too. I love both. I think Kickboxers I love more. Great soundtrack, but Bloodsport is the one that started it all. And so it's like that's tough. But I would say Kickboxer's my favorite. But yeah. But yeah, I'm gonna still go on for a little bit. Well, yeah, it's weird, but I think part of it is like, I think after an hour, people are like, okay, that's enough. but but I'm gonna go on to, at least two, so that way I can put out, there's a in case people watch later, you know, they can go back and watch the whole thing or whatever. But and I can understand, people may have stuff that, people's lives are busy and stuff, and that's fine. That's a good question too. I love both Top Gun but actually, you know what? I'm gonna pick Days of Thunder. I think while Top Gun is great, has a great cast, great soundtrack and direction, I think Days of Thunder for me, I enjoy a little bit more. I think it's an underrated movie, and it might be, if not my favorite cruise movie, but it's definitely in my top five. How do you deal with annoying people? Like, what does that word mean? I don't know what that word means. I don't know if you mean siblings. I don't know what you mean, Kamen Rider. Uh, honestly, Kamen Rider, I would not say that. Uh, they're not annoying. They're not annoying. I got two brothers, and they're not annoying at all. So I don't know if you're dealing with something, Kamen Rider. If that's the case, I'm sorry, but I can't say that about my family. Have you ever seen the iconic movie character versus videos? I don't think I have. Vampire in Brooklyn with Eddie Murphy. I've heard about it, but I haven't seen it. Most disappointing video game based on a movie? Like a video game based movie? I don't know. I would say Hitman, but I don't know. I mean, I didn't like the Hitman movie, but I have to think about that one. Okay. Yeah, I really don't know much about that one, about that channel. Nobody annoys me. No, I'm saying that your siblings are annoying. I'm asking. I don't under. I still don't under. I don't understand. What do you mean? Like, I don't understand the wording a little bit. I mean, I don't. My siblings are not annoying, and nobody really annoys me right now. In a line of fire or Air Force One, probably Air Force One. It's funny you asked that question. I was just watching In a Line of Fire last night. Great movie. I think, yeah, Wolfgang Peterson directed both. But I have to say, yeah, Air Force One is probably, for me, has the edge. I love Harrison Ford, Gary Oldman, great score. Spider Man from 2018. I haven't played that one. Oh, no, you're good, Common Rider. I just didn't know what you meant. Uh, Three different quotes from National Lampoon's Vacation, the original one. I have to watch it again. I don't know if I can give you three quotes off the top of my head, but I do love the movie. It's just I can't really come up with quotes right now. I think it's shitty. I mean, Rob Reiner was a great director, a lot of great movies, and I'm not celebrating it. It's just sad more than anything. And yeah, I mean, yeah, he had his own beliefs, but at the same time, he's still a human being. Oh, you're a good, Common Rider. Bill Murray deserves to be forgiven. Well, I'm sorry about that, Common Rider. Yeah, I mean, my I don't have any siblings that annoy me because I love them to death, and you know, I don't really see them that much. But it's okay. Like, I see them. I still see them once in a while. If you were somewhere indoors with Norman Bates and Jack Torrance, who would give you more anxiety? Probably Jack, because Jack Nicholson. He apologized to Hal Ramis before his death. I, I mean, that's been said, but who's to say it really happened? I mean, if he did, he did, but I don't know. I really don't know. the speaker thing. I still don't know what you. I don't know what you mean, Kamen Rider. Mark Hamill. Yeah, he was good in Star Wars and stuff like that. I know he was in that movie, The Long Walk. I haven't seen it. Um, I don't know. I mean, he's a good actor, but he was in the later Star Wars movies too, and it's like that he basically signed off on on what happened there. Samuel. Yeah, I need to rewatch the first Vacation movie, The Worst Action Stars. I mean, I don't know, like I can't really say who now, but like 15 years ago when they were pushing Matt Damon as the next Stallone or Arnold, that was pushing it. Like there's not a lot of actors right now that are, if you really think about it, there's not many actors now that are being pushed as action stars. Nobody's an action star. Jason Statham is doing stuff a little bit here and there, but there's really no action stars right now because the ones we loved are like 80 years old or more, or they're pushing 70, 80 years old, 90 years old. And Dwayne Johnson, he's far from action star. He's far from that title, that you know label, because he wants to do Jumanji 4. And there's many other reasons with that. So again, there's not nobody's an action star. Nobody's being, you know, nobody's on that level because they're not really creating stars anymore in general. Worst action star, but I mean, maybe I didn't really answer your question, but I don't know. I have to really think about that. Emma Stone is overrated. I don't. Is Emma Stone the one that was in? I'm always getting little like actresses confused. Is Emma Stone in? Did she play Gwen Stacy? Is that the one I'm thinking about? Maybe it's like Emma Roberts, Emma Stone. I get them confused a little bit. There's a lot of Emmas. Bill Skarsgård. I'm not really that much of a fan, honestly, but that's just me. Thoughts on the Angelina Jolie feud with John Voight? I really don't really know much about it. The guy who was sitting at the window in the office scene in Rocky 1 where Apollo discusses the fight is actually a young Michael Dorn. Really? Okay, now I have to go back and look at that. I had no idea. Yeah, I did see. Yeah, but yeah, like I said, I haven't seen the original Vacation in a while. It's probably been like 5 years or more. With the power of, I don't know what you mean, but what time frame would you send Marty and Doc to? I mean, What time frame would I like to see them? Maybe like um um like if they could have like another adventure, maybe like the Civil War. That'd be interesting. Or the Revolutionary War. Favorite clean rap song? I don't know if I have a favorite. Thoughts on people claiming depression is a hoax? Um, I don't buy it. I mean, I don't believe that. Hey, Ruben, long time no see. Yeah, happy New Year to you, man. It's going fine. It's, you know, I'm still working. Today I was able to get off. Like I thought I was working, but um, yeah, I'm off today unexpectedly. So, yeah, and Louie's doing fine. I haven't seen Louie in probably maybe 3 or 4 months. But you got to remember, I'm living over here. Louie is back with my parents, living at my parents' house, so I don't really see him that much. But also, too, I think the neighbors took him in because I don't really take care of him anymore. So he's not. I still love Louie, but I'm not able to take care of him. So, but it's fine. Um, yeah, Black Sheep turns 30. She's doing good. She's actually working in the other room right now. She works remotely. So she's going to be working for another 4 hours. Louie's my cat. So I had a cat for about 2 years. If you may have, you probably saw Louie in some older videos from like 2 years ago, but yeah, I had a cat for a little bit, and then I moved um, back home, and I took him with me. But then I met Rosanna, and now we're living out here. But I didn't bring Louis with me. He is back with my parents. Um, and for the most part, he's an outdoor cat now. So, my parents, they feed him, a little bit, but also my neighbors are looking after Louis. So, like, he's kind of going back and forth. And I still, maybe I'll see him once in a while, but, for the most part, he's being looked after by my parents and their neighbors. So I've heard of Discord, but I don't have it. Wait, maybe actually, I think I have Discord, um, but I haven't been on there in a while. Yeah, I like the Scatman song. I'm a scat man. Yeah, Top Gun turns 40, which is hard to believe. Yeah, that was Louis. And I believe it or not, I think this is that chair where like he may have been like on the back here. Yeah, so if you go back in my channel, there's a thumbnail where he's like sitting on the back here, and that's Louis. The Bride looks interesting. Why did they remake Naked Gun? I don't know. I mean, I didn't see the film. I love the original. Have a good one, Sean. Thank you for swinging by, man. But yeah, I'm not. I don't really have a lot of interest in watching the Naked Gun remake. I'm not sure who that is, Ruben. I don't know, but I think Ouija board sessions are real or just BS? I don't know. I'm not going to really. I don't know, and I don't want to find out either. I mean, that's just open up a can of worms if you ask me. The Okay, I know I don't know who that is, Ruben. She's probably her. Samurai Pizza Cats. No idea. I mean, I really honestly don't know. I mean, if people wonder about like channels out there on YouTube, that the people that I'm only subscribed to is people up here, like friends, Matt, Mike OCP, Fabio. Like I really don't go out of my way to like look for, like, certain channels on YouTube or, I really don't go outside of, you know, my friends and maybe a couple of other channels that are similar, but you know, that's just me. Yeah, I know Bill Farmer. Yeah, the voice of Goofy. Oh man, you're asking me if Rollerball remake or Moscow Heat, like which is worse or which is better? Because I mean, Rollerball remake is slightly better than Moscow Heat, but that's not saying much. Steven Seagal survived 2025, and yeah, that's pretty cool. Yeah, Steven Seagal may have survived the last year, but how many buffets are going to survive this year? How many buffets are going to survive Steven Seagal? I'm just joking. I'm just messing. Yeah, that's pretty cool. Thank you for the compliment, Common Writer. Yeah, I mean, I would love to talk to Rambo Raff again, Fabio again. Mike OCP, maybe, hopefully, I would like to talk to again. It's just we have to plan it, and that's kind of like the way I want to do things. Like, for me, it's better to plan. Like going live today was kind of a spur of the moment. It just happened because I'm off, and normally I don't get Fridays off. I usually my days off are Sunday and Mondays, but Midnight Meat Train, haven't seen it. I've heard about it, I think. No, but I've heard about it. I haven't seen. I think, is there footage out there of the SNL with Steven Seagal? No, I mean, like I said earlier or just a second ago, like I really don't anything outside of like the circle of people that I know or like Rambo Rath, OCP, Fabio, his channel, you know, Michael King, Dead Pit. I mean, I really don't go out of my way to like, watch other YouTube or like, cosplayers or like big time streamers or, Twitch streamers and stuff like that. It's just, I just, it's just not my thing. And that's okay. I mean, maybe that's just, age. I mean, again, I'm in my late 30s. So, I mean, it's, I really, and I'm not, I mean, I do play video games, but I'm not like a big gamer or whatever. But anywho, I know, don't remind me, Ruben. I know it's inevitable. But I've never heard of that movie, Ruben. Or what's the movie you asked about? Do I still keep in touch with former coworkers? Um, well, a little bit. I haven't too much over the last like 2 months or 3 months because it's just been extremely busy. But, it's okay. It's starting to get better. Um, I don't. Well, that just depends, Common Rider. I mean, yeah, I mean, you can say that, but I mean, when I worked at the Amazon warehouse, there's a good guy there that I still keep in touch with here and there, but I just haven't been able to the last like 3 months because I've been working at UPS. Um, I don't know about Snoop Dogg. Okay, I'll say Snoop Dogg. Sure, let's go with that. Beast Burger. I don't know what that is. If that's about Mr. Beast, I really don't watch his stuff at all. If it's anything about Mr. Beast, again, it's not my thing. It's not what I'm into. I'm not interested in this channel. Millions of people are, and that's fine. And that's, that's their generation. But that's just not for me. You heard Mr. Beast is a scammer? I wouldn't doubt it. But so real quick, I'll mention, and like I said, for people out there that submitted requests, thank you. But so I did get a few. We got The Last Dragon, Wild Man Beyond. Did a request that I review The Last Dragon. DJ Donnelly, Hard Target. So I got your request. Fadi requested that I review Blade, which I have the Blade trilogy on Blu-ray. I think here. And then Sean, I know you requested Ernest Goes to School. So, and then possibly in the future, that Looney Tunes movie that came out last year. So that will, and then like in between, I'm going to kind of put in my own reviews randomly. So, I did see the film, but what I'm going to do, Ruben, if you remind me, because I did put up a post about it in the community. Like, if you want me to review that, I'm going to rewatch it again to get like because I did see the film once, but I want to rewatch it again to, really take it in. So if you see that post in the community post, like submit it there. And to answer that question, kind of what I was just talking about, like go to the community post where I talked about requests. And if you want me to review something, a movie, what have you, let me know in that post. And that way I know who you are. And I will mention your name along with the request when I get to it. So, do I have a favorite season of The X-Files and Miami Vice? The X-Files, the first season is really good. I was watching it last year, and actually me and Herbie were watching it, and we stopped around season 3. But I think when I finish the show, I can give you a better answer. But I really love the first season. The first season had a lot of great episodes. Season 2 is really good too. So, and Miami Vice, again, the first season's really good. Honestly, I've only seen the first 2 seasons of Miami Vice. I have the whole series, but I have only seen the first 2 seasons. Never seen that. The Day the Earth Blew Up. Yeah, I mean, I think I'll like it. So yeah, Common Rider. Again, just go find that community post and submit under that. Yeah. I think DJ asked a question. I'm trying to get back to it. Other than Arnold, who else could you see as pregnant and Junior for a laugh? You know what? How about this? Just for kicks, you can have DeVito be the pregnant one and Arnold be the one helping out DeVito. There you go. Do it like that. Yeah, I've been to an arcade. Okay, so Ruben, I did see that you requested Mulan. Well, give me one. Like if you had to request one, I just noticed that you sent 2, but give me one. But also too, you have to keep in mind, I think with like family oriented movies, like family movies, like the comment sections are going to be disabled because of YouTube. That's just how they roll. So again, keep that in mind too. Like if I review a family movie, animated film, like YouTube is going to disable the comments. I think when I think that happened like last year, the year before, when I reviewed a animated film or a family film. Um, YouTube disabled the comments. Yeah, I did get your request. Um, Meteor Limeade. Let me see. Maybe look at it again here. Yeah, Nature Unleashed, Earthquake. uh, I don't know what you're trying to put me through, um, but as kind of like a heads up for people out there, if you're going to give me a film to review and you know that it's terrible or god awful, just remember, like, I'm not gonna. Hold on a second. Okay. I was saying, like, in terms of rants and stuff, like, I'm not going to go off blasting and scream at the computer or the webcam or throw stuff. I'm not going to do that anymore. That's just not. I don't have it in me. I'm not going to cause any damage like you would think back in the day. So I'm just kind of giving you guys a warning out there. Like, if I watch a bad movie or what have you, I'm not going to go off the rails. I'm just not. I'm not going to do that anymore. Like, if it's a movie I don't like, I'm going to say I'm not. I don't like it. But yeah, I mean, yeah, I know. Matt has Rambo Raff. He's done a lot of entertaining stuff back in the day and rants and stuff. But for me being here, like, I'm not going to go off screaming or like, and get all you know mad and stuff. It's just not going to happen here. I that's a weird one because they're two totally different movies. Yeah, but I guess it depends on what you're in the mood for. Toy Soldiers is a thriller. Toy Story is a Pixar movie. So I mean, can't really say. Yeah, yeah. Matt, he's done a lot of great rants on his channel. He's done a lot of fantastic rants. Boys in the Hood or Tales from the Hood. I haven't seen either. Okay, so Ruben, do you want me to review Come and See? Because I do have that here. I know for sure I do have that DVD here. I just have to rewatch it. But I'm going to go on for probably another 10 more minutes, and um, and then we'll wrap it up. But it's been a good stream. It's been good to catch up and talk to everybody. And, for people that missed it, they can go back later and watch. And, I'll make a thumbnail for it and stuff like that. So, as far as reviews go, I'm going to review them when I can. And, because, we're about to there's about to be a little like schedule change at work. So I have to sort of get, adjusted to that and then figure out when's a good time to watch, certain movies and then put in the time to review and edit and all that good stuff. So, you have to let me know. Sorry, my phone's going off. So, again, when it comes to the reviews and stuff like that, just give me a little time and sort of figure out, like Hard Boiled is definitely going to come next, because I was supposed to do that back in like October, November, and then I, started working for UPS. Things got busy, so now I'm gonna, work for do Hard Boiled next. And I don't know who requested Hard Boiled, but if you let me know who you are, so I can mention your name later. So it's going to be Hard Boiled, and then maybe the Blade movies. But yeah, so that's good. That's cool, Scotty. Yeah, I'm going to be on for like another 7 minutes, 8 minutes, and then I have to get up and do some stuff. I don't drink champagne. Uh, yeah, Richard Scotty's a great guy, and we did a stream. Well, I think it was removed, but I've been on this channel like on streams here and there, and then he's been on my channel, my end, a little bit here and there. We've done some commentaries together, and we're definitely going to do more. And hopefully, just depends on the night and stuff. Like it's hard, like I want to plan a night for us to get together, like and other people, and it seems like whenever I plan something, it just you know it just it's always work related, so I have to sort of figure out around that. Okay, it just ended a bit sooner. That would be scary. I don't want to think about that movie, TV show. I have a question for. Are you a movie, TV show, and video game fan? Formerly, yeah, I would love to connect with Matt again. No, like I know he's got a lot going on in his channel and stuff, and I do once in a while send him a message, but that's to like send in a request. It just has to be the right time, and like both our schedules have to meet. So but he's still a great guy and a great friend. We just have to have our schedules have to meet up and stuff. Yeah, I don't like that either. Like the whole name thing, like at whatever, because I'm at the zero cool 988. I know, that's the name that Google made up, but it's stupid. If there's a way to change it, let me know because I would like to change it. Jeepers Creepers 1 and 2. I like Jeepers Creepers back in the day. Then I found out later about the director, and I'm like, nah, I don't like those movies anymore. But that's just me. I don't know what people are going to say. Well, you got to separate the art from the artist. Well, Salva didn't separate the pedo from the files, so that's what he is. Uh, and if that's how we're going to end the stream, then fine. Yeah, that's the reason why I've soured on the Jeepers Creepers movies. Look, if people still like those movies, fine. And if like, I mean, for years I did not know about that director, and but I mean, if people like them, that's fine. Not me. Yeah, I mean, yeah, I would. Common Rider. But I'll take one more question here for the stream, and then we're gonna wrap it up here. So one more question, and then we'll end it. Yeah, f you, Vitor Salvo. But again, that's a whole nother rant. Yeah, I don't buy it either. But anyways, so I'll just close it out here. But yeah, thank you everybody, for watching, and it was great to be on here for a little bit. And like I said, usually I work on Fridays. This was unexpected that I'm off, so I thought, why not do the stream today? And yeah, to everybody out there watching, Scotty, Ruben, DJ, Jamie, movie, TV show, and video game fan. Um, I don't know if we'll talk tonight because I still have to work tomorrow, Scotty. Um, it's weird. Like, yeah, I have to work tomorrow, off Sunday, and then we have to work Monday through Saturday next week. It's so I don't know if I'm going to be able to stay up tonight. Um, but yeah, to everybody out there, thank you for watching. And it was nice to stream on here for a little bit. This is probably the longest one solo that I've done in a little bit or a while. But everybody out there, have a great day, and I'll see you guys soon.